Strategies for 2022. Welcome for learning how to sell, learning how to be or you can be. So, hello, Sandra. Thanks for being here. I'm also live on the Facebook page as well. So, thank you, Sandra. Thanks, Helder. Welcome. So, today I'm going to talk briefly about mindset in terms of selling and mindset in terms of what it takes for strategies for 2022. I'm sure many of you, like myself and others, are setting goals and thinking, oh, wow, it's end of the year, beginning of a new one. What can we do? How can we set the goal and how can we achieve it? And everybody goes on this goal campaign, setting goals and big goals. Then the new year shows up and then nothing happens, right? So, what I'm going to speak to you about the mindset part of setting goals, the mindset part of deciding on something that you want or what's it going to take for you to get it, right? And how do you do that? How do you come up with a plan? How do you come up with a plan that actually going to work this time? And I'm going to share with you what I do and what seems to be working for me and many of my clients. So, thank you for being here. Thanks for being awesome. And what I want to share with you today is really important. So, if you want to do me a favor, get a piece of paper and a pen and write what you like down because that's what's going to make the difference. Some of it will resonate with you for sure. So, for those who have not met me, welcome. My name is Kamal. I am a mindset and money teacher, learning from Bob Proctor and Laura Langmeyer on how you can be the best version of yourself, how you can start thinking into results, how you can start achieving things beyond your imagination. So you probably have something to sell. You probably have a product that you want to move. You probably have something that you're thinking about. Now, what you're going to do with it, how you're going to promote it, how you're going to get that service out there, and how you're going to get 2022 to work for you. So as I'm learning this sales approach and how to deal with the situation, we have something that we call it's called like a path to agreement. It's how you get people to really buy into what you have, so you can start achieving the goals that you want. Right? You want to be able to achieve it. You want to be able to get them to achieve it because your business is their business. So this is one of the strategies for 2022 that I'm doing, and I hope you do the same. I call it a sales strategy, a day one sale a day strategy. So think of it, let's keep it simple, right? You have something you're promoting, you have something you're giving, and you want to have one client a day. You want to have one appointment a day. You want to have one sale a day. And imagine where that's going to take you. So you have to imagine going there before it all happens. Now you might be thinking, wow, what is Kamal talking about? We're talking about making money, talking about making sales, but now he's taking me to the imagination. Well, the answer is yes. I want you to imagine it happening first. I want you to use your imagination to think about this big goal that you really want. Because before it really happens anywhere, it has to start in your mind, in your beautiful, marvelous mind, in your mindset. If it doesn't start there, nothing's going to happen. Now, I'm going to say that again. If you don't make the sale first in your mind, the real sale will not happen. So everything starts in your mind. Everything starts with you wanting it to happen. And you have to want it. So you imagine thinking of this goal, whatever that goal is, happening in your mind. And then you catch yourself doing it again and again and again. And you want to stay in the present, right? I'm speaking to you from a mindset perspective, how you can sell something, how you can make it happen. So you imagine it, and your thinking is going to take you there. That could be that house, that could be that product, that could be that service. You imagine it first, and you catch yourself going there again and again, and you stay in the present moment. You stay in the present moment. Don't go to the past. Don't go to the previous situations where it didn't happen. Don't go to the previous situations where the sale failed. Don't go to the previous situation where they said no to you. Think of it that they're going to say yes this time. I want you to understand one thing and take this home. It all starts in the mind. Sales is a mindset game. Once you understand the mind, you're going to be amazing at what you do and what you can accomplish. So you stay in the present tense, you stay in the moment, and you go to the future only if you need to imagine the results and how you feel when you're there. And then you focus on your plan. You focus on your daily plan, how you're going to achieve that goal, how many phone calls you're going to make, how many meetings you're going to book, how many presentations you're going to hold. It's not going to happen by you just wishing and hoping for this from the basement. You're actually going to have to move your feet. So, see, a lot of people talk about the law of attraction, talk about wishing and hoping, but they don't actually move their feet and the things don't come up. So, when we say mindset studying, when we say mindset exploration, so you can start becoming that better individual, you're going to have to move your feet. You still have to take the action, but you do have to imagine it materializing first. It's all a mindset. And mindset is the name of the game. That's what's going to make the difference between your goals coming to life, between you getting 10 times, 100 times of what you did last year. Now, if you want to explore something further, if you want to move your results to that level, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, then we're talking. If you just want 1%, 2% change, all you have to do is just work a couple extra hours a week, and then you're going to get that extra income. So we're talking about selling from a mindset perspective. We're talking about moving you to that next level gig. So you only have to focus on one thing, mindset first. Once you get that right, once you get your mind in the perspective of where you want to go, then we can go to that next level. So as I'm studying the sales business and how you're becoming a professional salesperson, uh, there's four levels to it, right? So the first thing that you have to do for your goals and for your sales strategy for 2022 is you have to become a professional. You have to think of it this way. You are engaging in a pursuit of excellence. You're engaging in a pursuit of something that is amazing, something that is good. Your product is amazing. You have to believe in what you have. If your product is not amazing and you don't believe in it, get rid of it. Get something that you are in love with. Because if the product that you have is no good, how are you going to stand behind it? So for you to start making sales one a day, two a day, 10 a day, you have to become professional at what you do. You have to imagine it this way. If you don't believe in your product, who else is going to? So you have to stand behind it. So you got to attempt the second thing to do a better job today than you did yesterday. How is that possible? You did your best yesterday. Well, what? Yeah, you did your best, but this is another day. So if you did 120% yesterday, maybe today you can do 121. So that's the second thing from a professional perspective, where you want to go. How far can you take it? Just improve a little bit. That's all you got to do. Do today what you did yesterday and move it up a little bit. Move it up a notch. The third thing, as being a professional salesman or woman, you are at your best no matter what happens, no matter the news, no matter the information out there, no matter the weather, no matter if you lose the deal or not, you're going to perform at your best every day. That's a tenet for a professional sales position. You have to become very aware and cognizant of these three things, that you are in pursuit of a professional activity. If you're in this game just to do a one time deal, forget it. You're not going to make any money. And if you make any, it's going to be very little. But I'm talking big money. I'm talking about you making a big deal of money in the business that you're in. And that could be digital currency, that could be real estate, that could be health products. If you want to sell a lot, you have to move to a professional status with your mind. You got to go there first. And we can teach you how to do that. That's what thinking into results is about. Learning how to sell is just one element of it. So you're engaging in an activity that is at the professional level. So you got to ask yourself, why is this a mindset game? Well, what's your thought about sales? If you don't think sales is a professional activity, if you think salespeople are sleazy and tricky, then you're thinking wrong. Sales is a professional activity. The highest paid people in the world are salespeople, and that's what you can be as well. So if you want to make a lot of money, sales is a beautiful gig, but you have to change your mindset on it. So we go back again, thinking it's a professional activity. It is a mindset game. And you're going to attempt to do a job today better than you did yesterday. And you show up at your best. And that's the number one thing. Okay. Professional activity. So think about it. Does that make sense? That's now your outlook on sales is probably different. If you've never sold anything before, this should give you a different perspective why sales is fun, why selling something is cool. It's not just the fact of you're going to get money back. You will get money. That's just an exchange of the resources. You're giving something of value, they're giving you something back. That's just a part of it. But it is a professional activity. It is getting a job done better today than yesterday, and you're going to do your best no matter what. That means it doesn't matter if you're ill, doesn't matter if you're sick, You're going to do a better job today. And if you can't, take a break and come back. That's the number one tenet on sales. So I'm going to speak for a few more minutes and then we'll take some questions. The number two on selling. What are you doing? How are you going to sell? And why is it mindset? Why is selling a mindset more than anything? See, this is about what it is. This is what it's about. It's about you pushing out an idea that's going to be adopted and approved on the other side. So you have a product, you have a service, you have a message, you're going to push it out to the world. And that world out there is going to adopt your idea or reject it. They might like it or they might not. So that's the number two thing in selling. It's like you have to have this idea that you want, you're going to send it out there. Are they going to accept it or are they going to reject it? Second part of the selling cycle is, are you going to move your prospect to say yes or no? Are you going to move them closer to what they want? Your job is to help them get closer. Now, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but day in, day out, as you're approaching the selling gig, as you're changing your mindset, sorry, there was just a phone call here, is you're going to move this individual in this path of agreement. You're going to move them in this path towards to what they want to get from you. You're going to provide a service or a message. They're going to exchange money. So that's the number two part that I call about selling. It's a professional activity. It's a selling activity. You're selling your ideas. And these ideas have to be accepted by the other side. And you move them closer, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. You send them an email. You reply to them. You forward a message. You check on them. It might not happen the first time around. Number three, once you become that professional sales individual and you want to make some big money, you're going to need a team. You're going to need a group of people to help you grow. And I call that management. I call that managing your team, managing your clients, managing who is around you so that they can grow with you. It's a professional activity and you're developing your group. You're developing that group. It's not about you. If you want to make big money, you're going to have to develop a team. So what did we cover so far in the how long we've been talking here? Not even 12 minutes, 13 minutes. We talked about sales. We talked about it's not good enough to just set a goal. You really have to see it achieved. You got to think mindset first. And we talked about it's a professional activity. Selling is a professional activity. If that's not your view on it, let's have a conversation and see how we can change that. Number two in selling is selling your idea and getting it adopted by somebody else. They need to accept it as it's going to make them better. And it's about managing your activities. You don't manage time, you manage activities by growing your team. Number four, it's psychology. Selling is a science of the mind and behavior. So as you understand the mind and the behavior of people and you start seeing how they're reacting to your product, how they're reacting to your conversation, you're going to get better and better at this activity. It's a wonderful concept. And that's the one way to build your business. That's the one way to do it. So how do you build your business? One day at a time. You keep building it and you build it and you keep going through the cycle. So in one of the things that we study in Path to Agreement, it starts from the beginning where you really get the attention of the individual. You got to get the prospect's attention. You got to get them interested in what you have. You got to see what they want. There's no need for you selling them anything if you don't have what they want. So they got to know, you got to know what they want. You got to find that out. And how do you do that? By asking questions. Then you get their desire. Okay, do they really want it? Why do they want it? And once you find out that what they want is what you have and you can actually truly serve them, you can really serve them with your product. Only then you go for it. You go for the action where you ask them for the order. If you don't have what they want, why would you even ask them? You got to make sure you have what they want. And step number five, when they buy from you, right? When they're actually going to buy from you, you have to let them know that you're going to be there for them. This is not a one-time deal. You're going to be there for them for a long time to come. You're a salesperson, you're a professional, and it involves communicating these ideas. They're going to bring you other clients. And step number six, you're going to be in service for these people. You're going to be in service because they're going to bring you more clients. So that's a quick scenario of what I call the path to agreement. It's the process for professional selling to move from the idea of what you have, what your goal, to how you're going to put it out to the world. So I'm not sure if you've heard of it. I'm not sure if you know of anything about this idea of selling. We call it path to agreement. We call it, uh, it's a process. You need to have a process, and everybody would have something. And that's what I use. That's what I use with Bob Proctor, who's teaching us this process from the PGI community. It's a 6 step process that would take you from not knowing how to sell to knowing how to sell. And as you do it, and as you study the science of the mind, you're going to get better and better and better. So that's the talk for today. And that's what I wanted to share with every one of you. And I'm going to call this new membership club Join the One Sale a Day Club, because it is phenomenal. Just imagine where you're going to go with your goals if you start achieving that. If you start having one client a day to your group, if you start adding one big gig to your group a day or a week or a month, that's where you got to go. What's your thought, Sandra, Chris, Davina, on what I've talked so far? Love to hear from you.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you for this amazing room, this interesting topic, because everyone has something to sell, even if it's an idea, a service. We need to connect with others, pass a message, and let them know the value that we provide. And sometimes it takes discipline to commit with our mission and also know how to address our message, be consistent. So I really appreciate what you said. Sometimes we feel that today is everything online, and I hope it would be easier to find a partner that could put all the things together and help us to sell online, because there's a lot of people that have amazing products, amazing services, but they don't know to reach when it comes to the funnels, the internet sales technique that it requires to sell in a professional way. So I think this is the actual struggle. It's to find someone that really can provide help and support in a consistent way. I would love to have someone that would find a schedule for me and saying, Mondays you need to provide me a video, Tuesdays you need to write a text, something like that, and we'll put everything together. This is very, very important. But yes, Kamal, it takes discipline, it takes hard work, and push ourselves, indeed. This is the only life we have, so we need to live it wisely and with consistent and meaning. Meaning. Thank you, Kamal. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Absolutely. So I like what you said, except on the part on the how. I'm sure everybody can put something online. Everybody can very easily put a product online, but it's getting people to see it, getting people to get the SEO to work, getting people to visit that site, and everybody thinks I can just put something on a website and people will just show up and buy. They're not coming. Nobody's coming. Even if you put it on Facebook, even if you put it on LinkedIn, even if you put it on Clubhouse, whatever you put, people are not going to come until you have this conversation, this transfer of mind, this transfer of ideas that what you have, they want. All these other hows that we keep thinking about, that we need a funnel, we need a website, we need SEO, they're just strategies. I'm talking about the biggest part of it, mindset first. We got to get our mind right. We got to get the psychology of selling right. And to get that, you got to get your mind really geared up as to what you're going to take from what your words, gestures, writing, even when the individual is sitting across from you, on the conscious level, what are they thinking? On the subconscious level, what are they thinking? You could be sending the right words, but subconsciously you could be sending the wrong words. So on the conscious level, you could be thinking, they're gonna buy from me. I need them to buy from me because I need to make my mortgage payment. But subconsciously, you could be saying, they're not gonna buy. They don't trust me yet. So it's a double conflicting message. So in our teaching in the psychology of the selling and the mind is we learn that part of it. which is phenomenal. It's like a whole aspect of it. The other part in what you talked about, Sandra, in terms of funnels and website, that's all part of the how, and that's like 5-10% of the equation. And it's like every time you go to another level, there's another level. You could be selling 10 products a month or 20, but once you want to go to 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, it's a whole different level. So there's always going to be somebody that needs to figure that part out, the strategy. 90% of it is mindset, but love the conversation. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this new initiative that I'm working on getting the mindset of selling right. Because once you get the mindset right, that's when things are going to grow. That's when you're going to attract the right people in your life to buy from you easily, with ease, and at the right level. So, love to hear from every one of you here. Who else is in sales? Davina, are you in sales?
Hello, Kamal. Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually am in sales. I don't do sales for a living. However, I'm a pharmacy technician of over 30 years. But sales have actually became very easy to me because I have a lot of history in regards to selling. I think what you sell, you have to believe in what you sell. If you don't believe in what you're selling and you won't buy it for yourself, why would others want to stay and want to buy from you? So basically, you have to believe in what you're selling. And so, what I'm into right now at this time, I'm into which you already know, Kamal, which is Manny, investment realtor. He's phenomenal. I'm in his classes, which are awesome. With it does actually come to learning how to talk to people over the phone and sell. You're not selling anything. We're actually offering. There's a difference from selling and offering. I believe that we're offering the people a service. So yes, I guess that would be considered selling. Well, I definitely agree with you.
So good. Yes, it is selling. It's a different kind of selling, but yeah, that's good. Awesome. So good. Very good. Excellent. Ellison, thanks for being here. What's your thought of what I shared, and what's your thought on selling?
Hi, Kamal. Thank you for hosting this room with Sandra. I hope she comes back. Because I love what Sandra and Davinia just shared about sales. It's everyone sells every day, whether you're trying to convince a partner to do something or a child to do something or convincing yourself to buy something or to invest in something. So sales are a natural part of our everyday life. We just don't consider it as such because we just think it's those day-to-day negotiations, but we have them all the time. Whether it's buying a new desk, you're selling yourself on the desk. It's not necessarily the person selling it to you. You're the one who ultimately makes the decision. So it's basically transferring those skills into sales for a product or service that you offer. And in my business, it's basically word of mouth, but I still have leverage. I can offer a great service, whether I'm working with a criminal defense attorney or their client, or I'm working with, right now, I usually don't do a lot of private practice, but I had a chief medical officer ask me to coach him, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll do this, and it's turned out to be a really wonderful experience. And then I thought, let's work and give him the best possible service so that he can be my salesperson. So it's basically, I have these unofficial salespeople who are my clients who are going out and doing that work for me and propagating and vetting new clients for me. And I think there's different ways to approach it, because for some people who are more introverted, or some people who have an affective filter. So an affective filter is where your emotions, whether they're heightened or diminished, right? If you're very excited or very angry or very frightened, it can actually impact the way you talk to others. And so for some people, that affective filter will stop them from taking that risk, or jumping into a new venue, or having a conversation with a potential new client. So it's really a process of breaking these things down into the smallest of small steps, and just completing one task so it's not so overwhelming and daunting. And I remember when I was working on my first doctorate, I remember at one point getting feedback from one of my chair people at USC, and it was overwhelming. I was overwhelmed. They'd given me a CD with 275 articles I had to read and report on, and it was overwhelming. And I thought, I can't do this. I can't do this. I just thought this is just insurmountable. And I thought, one article a day, one sale a day. Break it down into the smallest component. And then when you achieve it, you give yourself a little reward, whether it's an emotional reward, a walk outside, a break. And what you do is you set up the rewards feature of your brain, which allows the neuroregulator of dopamine. It's not a neurotransmitter, it's a neuroregulator. And it allows that reward, that you perform an action, you get a reward. So it's a feel good process. And then it makes you want to invest in the next step. And so I love your 6 steps, Kamal. I think they're wonderful. And thank you for letting me speak.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alison, for sharing that, and congrats and all that accomplishment. So good. Yeah, we and these 6 steps, which is a process proven for hundreds of years, and Bob Proctor, my mentor, has figured it out. Basically, takes you from getting the attention, which is very important. You got to break that barrier because people are busy. People have things to do, and how do you break that tension? How do you get that tension and get the individual on the other side? Never mind what they're going through. Never mind what they're asking about. Never mind what they're thinking of. You gotta get their attention so that the activity of the conscious mind is related to you. And that's the first step of the process. And there's mechanics to it. So in this study with this system, we teach how to get that attention. How can you pick up somebody and give them a call or get in a Zoom call and actually get their attention? What kind of questions to ask? And then what are they interested in? Then you get interested. Like if you want to be selling your ideas, you have to see the interest. Like what's their desire like? What are they looking for? You got to get them interested in your idea. And it's a process. How do you do that? You ask them questions. It involves an activity of the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is, their intellect is what's telling them what's going to happen. And then that's going to pass the information to their subconscious mind. So how do you reach these messages? How do you get them to actually listen to you? And so it involves everything. It involves the words, it involves gestures, it involves writing, but it's not just intellectual. It's also on the subconscious level, and that's what I like this process from a mindset perspective. It's remarkable, and then get their desire. So with the 6 process, my goal is over. It's a 2 months kind of cycle. Once a week, we'll study one section, one module with Bob, and we'll basically practice, do like a role play because some people want to sell and but they've never done it and they don't know how. So how are they going to break this habit of not selling? Is you got to get on the call, you got to get into role playing. Every professional is always training, so it's going to be an interesting adventure where a few of us kind of once hour a week listening to the module from Bob and then practicing this role play, practicing the sessions and getting objection handling very, very good. This way, by the time you get to the end of the sale, there's no objections. So that's the idea of this process. It's remarkable, and I'm excited about it. There's a few signups already, and the thought of thinking and changing people's mind on selling that it is a professional activity. It's not just an activity; it's a professional activity. You got to raise your level of what sales means. What's a salesman mean to you, or a saleswoman? So excellent. Who else is here? Megan and Sammy. Megan, how are you doing? Good to see you here today.
Hey Kamal, yeah, just really happy to listen. I'm working on some projects at home here, so just listening in, and I'm just happy to learn because I definitely could improve, my sale game, and just what I would really appreciate coaching on sometime is just the pitch, like when people say, hey, what do you do, and then to say that in a more powerful and compelling way. So if there's any insight on that sometime, that would be great. But just, yeah, happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, there's definitely some insight. I do have a couple of videos that we can share with you as to how to do that. Learn that from Forbes Riley, actually, and it's a pretty good, very concise way to say what you do because that happens everywhere, right? We call it the 30-second pitch, elevator pitch. What do you do, right? And how do you spill it out? How do you actually get out there? There is no magic way, but there is few ways that are easy to the ear, and whoever listens to it is gonna be like, "Wow, tell me more about it. So I can probably share with you a couple things, and yeah, I'm just excited on this journey. So welcome, thank you, Sammy. Sammy Rahman, how you doing? Are you in sales, Sammy? Where are you from, and what's going on?
Yeah, hi Kamal. I'm very happy to be here after a long time, and it's a very nice topic we are discussing, sales. And fortunately, I'm also in a sales. Actually, I'm in a holiday business and selling holidays. So, holiday as far as holidays and it's a part of hospitality industry, and the product I'm selling is a intangible product where the customer at first hand cannot see the product. So when the customer is